Alright, let's get this unfortunate piece of business out of the way. Rey Mysterio Jr. was involved in a wrestling match. During the wrestling match, there was a freak accident that caused Mysterio Jr. to pass away. They went to do a signature move called the 619. Somehow they got out of position and Rey Mysterio delivered a drop kick. It looks like the combination of the drop kick and the way that Mysterio landed on the bottom rope caused his neck to break. There's some speculation that he must have had an injured neck at that point. Right now, we don't know. All we can say is it's a freak accident. I'm not going to post the footage, but if you watch the footage, you can tell that Rey Mysterio is visibly shaken when he notices what's going on. All he did was deliver a dropkick. From what I can tell, it doesn't even look like it was that hard of a dropkick. There were actually 2 ambulances present at the event, and most wrestling events don't even have 1 ambulance. There were several people that were already injured on the show that were being tended to by the paramedics, so it may have taken the paramedics a little while to attend to this specific incident. However, it doesn't look like anyone was in any sort of neglect during this. With that said, I just want to end on a couple quick notes. Firstly, stop sharing the footage. I know that you're curious and people are curious, but I mean, show some respect. This is a man's life. The other thing is, people talking about this story should be careful not to use language that blames people for it. This was a freak accident and everyone involved did everything in their power to try to help as quickly as they could. Alright, so I've got to talk about this news about Ashley Judd. For those of you that don't know, Ashley Judd was at a Kentucky Wildcats game. She tweeted out something criticizing the other team, and of course, there was an onslaught of trolls on Twitter that attacked her. In response to this, Ashley Judd went on to the Today Show and revealed that I'm pressing charges. I am of 2 minds when it comes to this story. Firstly, I think it's great. Anything that can sort of settle down the trolls on Twitter is great. I'm all for it. A larger part of me wants to say to Ashley Judd, stop feeding the trolls. I understand that what they're doing is not justified, but you need to understand that what they're looking for is a reaction. As soon as you give it to them, you're feeding them. They'll come back for more. So to anyone that's experiencing this, if somebody is saying something hateful to you on the internet, just block them or ignore them. That's just my thoughts on it. So there's a trailer for a new movie called Pixels that's been released. This movie stars Adam Sandler and Kevin James. People have cautioned and said, don't worry, Adam Sandler's just starring in this movie. He has no hand in the actual creation. The premise of the movie is awesome. It's all of your 80s pixelated dreams come true. However, the execution seems to leave a lot to be desired. We send a time capsule into outer space in the 80s. Aliens find it and recreate what they see. They create Pac-Man, they create Donkey Kong, they create all these 80s characters and put them into the real world in pixelated version. Watching the trailer actually reminds me a lot of the Super Mario movie that I saw when I was a child. I had huge expectations. When I saw the movie though, it was as if someone was told the story and given free range to recreate it as they'd like. This is especially how I feel when they get to the scene where they're fighting Pac-Man and they need ghosts to kill him.
You want ghosts? These are your ghosts.
And they go and they get these cars and they have the license plate that says Blinky, and I guess they go and they chase after Pac-Man with these cars and it's supposed to kill them or something. I don't know. From what it shows on the trailer though, it doesn't look good, but that's all I can say at this point until the movie comes out. Wrestling isn't wrestling. How could I not talk about this? So Max Landis created a 24-minute video about professional wrestling. In it, he states that he's hoping to explain to people that there's more to professional wrestling than just wrestling. Throughout the course of this video, he recaps Triple H's entire career in sort of a drunken history of wrestling type approach.
I have a plan to get us both noticed.
Are you ready?
And it's a crazy fucking plan.
The target that he states is people that don't know anything about professional wrestling. I feel like if you don't know who Triple H is or you don't know who The Undertaker is,
I see your face. Who is The Undertaker?
You may not enjoy it as much. It's very history heavy. However, if you even have heard the name The Undertaker, if you're mildly familiar with any point of Triple H's career, I think you're going to love this video. They did a great job making this. There are more cameos than I can count.
You do know it's fake, right?
I'm not going to list the cameos.
$5 for the Dick Sucker t-shirt, please!
Because all I can do right now is list the cameos that are found. but there are more and more being found each day. The only issue that I have with this is the sort of message to this. I wish it was called Wrestling is More Than Wrestling, because to some of us, wrestling is wrestling. For a lot of us, the things that happen between the bells and between the ropes are very important. The main point of it is that wrestling has a lot more to it than you realize. Wrestling is an art form.
Triple H is a great character in fiction, told over 2 decades.
It's more about character development, learning and watching these characters struggle. If you haven't seen it, I'm begging you to go check it out. That's just my thoughts on it. Also this week, a little bit of my childhood died, specifically in the form of Donatello from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Basically what happened is Donatello was separated from the rest of the Ninja Turtles. He was attacked and he didn't survive the attack. Right now, like a quarter of my childhood friends are all freaking out because their favorite Ninja Turtle died. I never actually understood the kid that would always pick Donatello when you were picking Ninja Turtles as kids, because like Michelangelo was the one that I liked because he was a party dude, and Raphael I got that most people liked because he was like the badass motherfucker Ninja Turtle, and even Leonardo I personally thought was lame, but I got it because he was technically the leader, but Donatello was just like the dorky one. With that said, this of course was done in a comic book, so as most of you know, there's a saying in comics that's only Bucky stays dead, and Bucky's been resurrected several times. So there's still hope. We'll have to wait and see. Our childhoods are still safe in the hands of Michael Bay.